It is common for children who have been through traumatic experiences or stressors to display a developmental age different from their chronological age. A child's chronological age is their age based on their date of birth. Their developmental age is the age at which they function emotionally, physically, cognitively, and socially. What does this mean for your child? Watch and find out. Hi, I'm Kim Feeney with Butterfly Beginnings Counseling. Welcome to my channel. I am a licensed independent social worker and a registered play therapist supervisor with over 10 years of experience helping children and families lead healthier emotional lives. I'd love to help your family as well, so subscribe and hit the bell for weekly notifications on the latest content. A child may be 5 years old developmentally, and they may display behaviors then that make them seem much younger, however. Understanding that there is often a difference between a child's chronological age and their developmental age will help caregivers to have more realistic expectations for the child. Dr. Bruce Perry and his studies show how significantly smaller the size of the traumatized child's brain is versus the child who wasn't traumatized. The size of their brain doesn't mean the child can't grow, learn, and excel. It also doesn't mean your child can't hear you, understand how you feel, or that they aren't aware of the world around them. Children who have experienced trauma or other developmental stressors display behavioral issues because their brains have not developed fully to the point of other children and peers their age. What is often perceived as a conscious choice to act out may be the result of an underdevelopment in the brain that causes an inability to cope with big emotions, frustrations, or changes. Because of trauma or other factors, your child's age will not determine their abilities in every area. If a child is 6, you can't expect their emotional state to be equal to their peers. You may have behaviors that range from infantile to age-appropriate 6-year-old. Even though there are gaps between your child's emotional, mental, physical, and chronological age, you can still meet them where they are in each area. Your child may be smart and be able to do high-level algebra at age 10, so academically, meet him where he is. However, his emotional state may not be that of a 10-year-old. That doesn't mean you can't give him educational opportunities. Your 10-year-old may exhibit behaviors of a 3-year-old emotionally. Emotionally, you will meet him where he needs it then. You can hold him and rock him to help him meet his needs at that 3-year-old state. Reflecting feelings is also a great place to start. You can learn more about that in the video above my head or with the link below in the description. While this may all sound and feel very discouraging, hope is not lost for these children. These missing skills can be learned when children have the opportunity to practice them repeatedly in a safe environment. Your connection with your child will be the most important component in helping them to heal. As your child begins to heal and bond with you, their chronological and developmental age will become more equal. You'll see the gap between the two begin to close. This is done by helping them to regulate their feelings and emotions. As your child begins to heal also, they will have times of regression. Triggers will send them back to what they experienced in the past. Triggers are moments, experiences, memories, or events that remind them of a part of their prior history and experience. Your child will also exhibit negative behaviors and emotional regression when they feel out of control. Emotional age is a child's understanding of emotion and their ability to regulate or handle that emotion. So as a therapist, I check my clients' understanding of emotion to gauge their development in this area. This increases and develops and gets more complex, just like our cognitive ability does. Even for children with more secure attachments, they can struggle with emotional regulation. The child may be called immature for their age as a result of this. However, they can be taught skills to better understand their emotions and how to handle them. Children with attachment issues, however, generally have a larger gap between their emotional age and how old they chronologically are. This is often due to lack of emotional care and support when they were infants. I often hear from my clients' parents when they are upset. They act like a toddler. That's because emotionally they really are. If you're looking to help your child regulate and cope with big emotions at home, grab my free guide, 6 Ways Parents Help Kids Cope with Big Emotions, using the link below in the description. As a therapist, at the beginning of each session, I put effort into assessing what the emotional age of the child or adolescent is. I may have a 17-year-old sitting in my waiting room based on their chronological age. However, I may be working with a 6-year-old emotionally. Emotional age can vary between overall emotional age, or it can shift depending on the trauma or task being presented to the child. To better understand, the Synergetic Play Therapy Institute defines the following developmental tasks, which includes the following 6 stages. Number 1 is Do I Exist, which is conception to birth. These children are often silent and rarely give you eye contact. They mostly stay in one spot and play with only 2 to 3 toys. The therapist or caregiver is ignored, and there is a strong sense of hypoarousal or low energy. The next stage is The World Okay, would be emotionally birth to 18 months. For these children, play focuses on the unpredictable and scariness of the environment. The play is highly energized or filled with anxiety. Therapists and parents may be witnesses to the scary events, or they may be invited to actively participate in the play itself. Emotional age 18 to 36 months, Am I Okay? At this stage of development, children frequently feel inadequate. They do not believe they can trust their feelings, and their play is focused on insecurities and what the child may have done wrong. How much can I do? 3 to 6 years emotionally. Kids in this stage are cranking out as much as they can. They're focused on quantity versus quality. How many drawings can I do for mom? Can I make more Lego figures than dad? The how well can I do it stage is age 7 to 11 emotionally. This is when mastery of skills begins to be formed, and children are concerned with how well they can skateboard, play piano, or soccer. Who Am I finally is stages 11 and older. This final stage where kids begin to develop their identity. They start to develop personal goals and dreams for their lives. Comment below and let me know what stage emotionally you see your child in. It can be easy to think of kids who don't meet typical milestones as being younger than they actually are. It might even be confusing when a child physically and cognitively appears to be 10, but emotionally acts like he's 4. Each child is going to be unique, and some behaviors may be ahead and some behind those known to be typical of peers. Accepting that this is par for the course and allowing the child to develop in a secure and nurturing environment while obtaining the right therapies to meet their needs will hopefully enhance their development and a parent's ability both to understand and meet their child's needs with realistic expectations. Besides in the therapy room, there are many ways to help that can happen at home too. There are links to some recommended products below in the description. You can teach the basic emotions and emotional vocabulary by utilizing emotional flashcards or books to support and practice this behavior. Teach when a person would experience each emotion. Give examples from your life, or have some fun and make up stories with your child. Follow this up by asking them when they have felt that emotion in their life. Practice recognizing emotions by pausing a show or a movie to ask what emotions you think the characters are feeling at that time. You can do the same while reading stories. Ask your child what emotion the character is experiencing during a certain part. Or you can people watch. You see a lot of expressed emotions out at the mall. Another fun way to learn about emotions is to practice showing emotion through facial expressions, drawing, or emotion dolls, such as Meaty. Don't forget to grab my free guide, 6 Ways Parents Help Kids Cope with Big Emotions, using the link below in the description. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share with a friend. Thank you for watching, and wherever you are in your day, hug your child and make it a great one.